I never thought a single text message could flip my entire world upside down. That night I was just lying on my bed, scrolling mindlessly through my phone after a long day at work. My girlfriend's name popped up on the screen, and I smiled without thinking, expecting her usual sweet goodnight texts. But what I read next made my heart stop. She wrote, "I'm pregnant, but it's not yours." For a moment I felt numb. It was like every drop of blood drained from my body. My chest felt heavy and my mind went blank. All I could think was, how long had she been lying to me? How many times did she come home to me after being with someone else? My hands were shaking, but I forced myself to reply calmly. I texted back, "Congrats to the real dad then." I blocked her number right after that. I didn't want to see her name on my phone ever again. But I wasn't done yet. I found out who the father was, the man she named in her message. So I sent him a card, simple and cold, saying, "Sorry for your new responsibility." I can't lie. It felt like a small revenge for the betrayal that tore my heart apart. Within hours, she was trying to reach me through mutual friends. She kept saying she had made a mistake, that it was all a misunderstanding. But was it really a mistake? Or was she just scared to face the truth of what she'd done? I ignored every call and message. But deep down I wondered, what was she so desperate to tell me now when it was already too late? I lay awake that night, staring at the ceiling, thinking about all the moments we had shared. The late-night drives, the lazy Sundays watching movies, the way she used to hold my hand in public like she was proud to be mine. It felt unreal that the same person could hide something so big from me. I kept replaying our recent days in my mind, searching for signs I had missed. Maybe it was when she started staying out late saying she was working overtime. Or when she suddenly became protective of her phone, turning it face down on the table every time a notification popped up. I always trusted her because she made me feel like I was enough. But now I wondered if she ever truly loved me, or if I was just a comfort while she built a secret life with someone else. My friends started sending me screenshots of her messages to them. She was begging them to convince me to talk to her, saying she needed to explain. She said she had made a mistake. But what did that even mean? A mistake is burning dinner or forgetting a birthday, not sleeping with another man and getting pregnant. Part of me wanted to know what she had to say, to hear her try to twist her words and cover her betrayal. But the other part of me felt like listening to her excuses would only open my wounds deeper. I wondered about the other guy too. Did he even know she was in a relationship with me while she was with him? Or was he just as shocked to get that card from me, telling him about his new responsibility? As these thoughts circled in my head, I realized the truth was probably messier than I could ever imagine. The next morning I woke up to dozens of missed calls from my friends. One of them, Ryan, even came over without warning. He knocked hard on my door until I let him in. He sat down on my couch and looked at me like he didn't know what to say. Finally, he sighed and said, "Man, she's losing it. She called me crying at 3 in the morning. She keeps saying you've misunderstood everything." I shook my head. "There's nothing to misunderstand. She told me herself it's not mine," I replied calmly, but inside my chest felt like it was burning. Ryan frowned and said, "Yeah, but she's claiming she only said that because she was angry at you. That it's actually yours, but she wanted to scare you because you've been distant lately." That made me pause. Distant? I thought back to the past few weeks. Sure, I had been busy at work, doing late shifts to save up for a future with her. I wanted to buy us a better apartment, maybe even propose by the end of the year. Was that what she meant by distant? My mind was spinning with anger and confusion. If she was lying about the baby not being mine just to get my attention, then what kind of person does that? But if she was telling the truth now, then why did she mention another man's name that night? Meanwhile, another friend messaged me saying the guy I sent the card to was furious. Apparently, he was married with kids and was threatening her to stay away from his family. Hearing that added another layer to the mess. Who was telling the truth here? Her or this man she dragged into our lives? The more I thought about it, the darker everything seemed. Like I was only seeing the surface of a secret far more twisted than I imagined. The days that followed felt like a blur. Everywhere I went, I felt people's eyes on me, like they knew what had happened. My phone kept buzzing with messages from friends telling me she was outside my apartment building, waiting for me to come home. I ignored them all, refusing to let her inside my space again. But one evening as I was coming back from work, I saw her sitting on the steps near my door. Her hair was messy, her eyes swollen from crying. She stood up quickly when she saw me, her hands shaking as she reached out. "Please just listen to me," she whispered, her voice breaking. I didn't say anything. I just stood there holding my grocery bag tightly, feeling my pulse rise in my ears. She kept talking, words tumbling out between sobs. "I was angry. I thought you didn't care about me anymore. I said it wasn't yours because I wanted to hurt you. But it is yours, I swear." Her tears fell freely, but I couldn't tell if they were real or just another part of her lies. My chest felt heavy with anger, betrayal, and confusion. Before I could reply, she said something that made my knees feel weak. "The man I named, he's my boss. I thought if you believed it was his, you'd fight for me. You'd prove you still loved me." I couldn't believe what I was hearing. My boss? My stomach twisted in disgust and shock. Did she really think manipulating me like that would fix our problems? Before I could even gather my thoughts, she dropped to her knees, clinging to my leg, crying loudly. Neighbors peeked through their windows as her sobs echoed through the quiet night. I felt trapped in a nightmare, with everyone watching and no idea what I was supposed to do next. I pulled my leg away from her grip and stepped back, feeling disgusted and overwhelmed. She looked up at me with tear-filled eyes, whispering, "Please, please just hear me out." I was about to tell her to leave when my phone rang. I glanced at the screen and froze. It was an unknown number, but something told me to answer. As soon as I picked up, a deep male voice spoke urgently. "Is this Daniel? I need to talk to you about Mia." My heart raced. "Who is this?" I asked sharply. The man sighed heavily on the other end. "I'm her ex-fiancé. We were supposed to get married last year, but she left me suddenly. I just found out recently she was seeing someone else. And now she's telling me she's pregnant with my child." My legs felt weak. I leaned against the wall, trying to process his words. She was shaking her head frantically, mouthing "No, no, no," as if she knew exactly what the man was saying. "She told you it was yours too, didn't she?" he continued, his voice full of bitterness.
"I'm sorry, Mom."
"She's been doing this for years, playing with people's lives, lying about pregnancies and dragging men into her games. I just thought you deserved to know before you throw away your life for her lies." I ended the call without replying, my hands trembling. I looked down at her, still kneeling on the cold steps, sobbing uncontrollably. Suddenly, everything felt darker. How many men had she done this to? Was this even about love? Or was she hiding something much deeper and more dangerous? At that moment, I realized I didn't really know the woman I once planned to spend forever with. And maybe I was only seeing the beginning of her twisted secrets. I stared at her, feeling the weight of everything crashing down on me. My mind was spinning with anger, betrayal, and disbelief. Slowly, I bent down so I could look her in the eyes. "How many men have you done this to?" I asked quietly. She sobbed harder, shaking her head. "Please, Daniel, it's not like that. I love you. I just didn't want to lose you." Her words felt empty, like echoes bouncing off cold walls. I took a deep breath, trying to stay calm. "You told me it wasn't mine. You named your boss. Now your ex-fiancé says you told him the same thing. What exactly are you trying to do, Mia?" She reached out to touch my face, but I pulled back. Her tears fell harder. "I didn't know what else to do. I needed money, Daniel. I lost my job months ago. I was scared to tell anyone, and I thought if you believed it was someone else's, you'd leave me, and then I could make him take care of me. But when you left so easily, I panicked." For a moment, everything fell silent around us. The only sound was her soft crying. I felt sick to my stomach. It wasn't about love or betrayal alone. It was about desperation and her twisted way of surviving. I stood up and shook my head. "You need help, Mia. But it's not going to be from me." As I turned to unlock my door, she whispered something that made me freeze. "Daniel, I'm actually pregnant. But it's neither yours nor his. I don't even know who the father is." My heart dropped. I looked back at her, stunned. In that moment, I realized this wasn't just the end of our story. It was the end of the woman I thought I knew, replaced by a truth so broken that no one could ever fix it. I stood there for a long moment, staring at her as she cried on the steps. Everything felt heavy in my chest, but at the same time it felt like a final door closing. There was nothing left to say. I realized then that love isn't always enough to fix someone's brokenness, especially when they refuse to see it themselves. Without another word, I turned the key in my door and walked inside, leaving her there in the dark hallway. I heard her sobs echoing as I closed the door behind me, but I didn't look back. Inside, I sat down on my couch, feeling the silence fill the room. My phone buzzed again with messages from friends asking if I was okay, if I needed anything. I replied to them simply, "I'm fine. Just tired." Because that was the truth. I was tired of lies, tired of betrayal, tired of pretending that love could cover up everything. Later that night, I packed away her things into a cardboard box and left it outside my door. In the morning it was gone. So was she. Days turned into weeks and slowly my life felt normal again. I focused on my work, spent time with friends and found small joys in my routines. Sometimes I thought about her, wondering where she went or what she was doing. But each time I reminded myself that I did the right thing by walking away. Loving someone doesn't mean sacrificing your peace for their chaos. In the end, this experience taught me something I'll never forget. People will show you who they truly are when you least expect it. And when they do, it's better to accept the truth than keep believing in a lie that could destroy you.